Maya Hallberg sits across from me in the remainder's back room, staring at the ATM footage on my laptop screen like it might change if she looks hard enough. The timestamp reads 2:14 a.m. The hooded figure at the machine moves with the practiced efficiency of someone who's done this before.
That's not Daniel,
she says for the third time. I pause the video. The figure is frozen mid-transaction, face angled down, hood pulled low. Height approximately 5'4". Same height as Maya. Same height as half the population of Manhattan. You're sure? Daniel was 6'1". And he never wore hoodies. Said they made him look like he was shoplifting. She pushes the laptop away. Someone else used his card. I lean back in my chair. The vinyl squeaks like a question mark. We've been at this for 20 minutes, ever since Maya arrived with Daniel's laptop bag and the look of someone who'd spent the day wondering if her dead brother was a drug addict.
Maya, I need to ask you something, and I want you to think carefully before you answer.
She nods.
Did Daniel ever mention someone named Ria?
Her face changes. Not surprise exactly. Recognition mixed with something else. Caution, maybe.
Where did you hear that name? Daniel's calendar. He had regular dinner meetings with someone called R. Last entry was scheduled for the day after he died. Meeting location was Crest Analytics building.
Maya is quiet for a long moment. Outside, someone's playing pool in the main bar. Same lack of conviction as last night. Same sound of balls hitting each other without purpose.
Ria Torres.
Maya says finally.
Daniel mentioned her a few times over the summer. Someone he'd met through work. What kind of work? I don't know exactly. He said she was helping him with a project. Something about data analysis.
She pauses.
He was excited about it. Said it might lead to something bigger.
I pull out my notebook, write down the name. Ria Torres. Finally, a surname.
Did you ever meet her? No. But Daniel seemed, I don't know, happy when he talked about her. Like he was working on something important. When was the last time he mentioned her?
Maya thinks.
Maybe 3 weeks ago? He said they were making progress on the project. That they might have something soon.
3 weeks ago. Right around the time Oracle's internal review team flagged Daniel's case for secondary examination. My phone buzzes. Text from Priya.
Found Ria Torres. You need to see this.
Maya, I have to step out for a minute. Can you wait here?
She nods. I walk to the front of the remainder, where Priya is hunched over her laptop at the end of the bar. Sal's wiping down glasses, pretending not to listen. He's good at pretending. What did you find? Priya turns her screen toward me. It's a LinkedIn profile, Ria Torres, data analyst, Crest Analytics. Young woman, maybe late 20s, dark hair, professional headshot. The profile shows she's been with Crest for 8 months. She works for Oracle, I say. She works for Oracle. Specifically, she works in quality assurance. The department that reviews cases flagged by Oracle's internal systems. Priya scrolls down. Look at her recent activity. The profile shows Torres has been active in various data science forums, posting about AI ethics, algorithmic bias, the challenges of maintaining accuracy in complex decision-making systems. Smart posts. Thoughtful posts. The kind of posts someone writes when they're thinking hard about their work.
She's been asking questions.
Priya says.
Look at this post from 6 weeks ago.
She clicks on a forum thread titled,
False positives in automated classification systems.
Torres had posted a long comment about the challenges of maintaining human oversight in AI-driven law enforcement tools. Academic language, but the underlying question was clear: what happens when the machine gets it wrong? She was having doubts, I say. She was having doubts. And according to Maya, she was meeting with Daniel about some kind of data project. Priya closes the laptop. What if Daniel found something in the data? Something that made Oracle look bad? Something worth killing for? I look back toward the studio, where Maya is waiting. Through the doorway I can see her staring at the frozen ATM footage, at the hooded figure who took $800 from her dead brother's account. There's something else, I say. Maya recognized the name Ria Torres. Daniel had been meeting with her regularly. Dinner meetings, every other Tuesday. Priya raises an eyebrow. Dinner meetings or dates? I don't know yet. But Daniel was excited about whatever they were working on. Said it might lead to something bigger. And now Daniel's dead and Ria Torres has disappeared from every database we've searched. Not disappeared. We found her LinkedIn. She exists. Her LinkedIn exists. That's not the same thing. Priya opens her laptop again. I've been trying to verify her employment at Crest Analytics. Called the main number, asked to be transferred to quality assurance, asked to speak to Ria Torres. And? No employee by that name. The receptionist said she'd never heard of her. I stare at the laptop screen. Ria Torres, smiling professionally, claiming to work for a company that says she doesn't exist. My phone rings. Unknown number again. Quaid. Mr. Quaid, this is Oracle Customer Service. The same synthetic voice from yesterday, politely threatening. We've detected continued unauthorized access to case file 2027-11-03-4472. This is your final courtesy notice. Final notice of what?
Continued interference with Oracle's closed cases may result in legal action. We recommend you discontinue your investigation immediately.
Or what?
Have a pleasant evening, Mr. Quaid.
The line goes dead. I look at Priya. She's already closing her laptop, unplugging the power cord. How much of our research is backed up? I ask. Everything. Cloud storage, external drives, printed copies in my apartment. Why? Because Oracle just threatened me again. And I think they know exactly how close we're getting to something they don't want found. I walk back to the studio, where Maya is still staring at the ATM footage. She looks up when I enter. I found Ria Torres, I say. She works for Oracle. Quality Assurance Department. Maya's face goes through several expressions quickly. Surprise, confusion, then something darker. She works for the company that ruled my brother's death a suicide? That's right. And according to her LinkedIn profile, she's been asking questions about algorithmic bias and false positives in automated systems. You think she found something wrong with Daniel's case? I think she and Daniel found something wrong with a lot of cases. I think that's what got him killed. Maya stands up, walks to the window. The afternoon light is fading, casting long shadows across Ludlow Street. October in Manhattan, the time of year when the city starts preparing for winter, when people walk faster and look down more often.
The person at the ATM.
She says.
You think it was her?
I pull up the footage again, freeze it on that single frame where the hoodie pulls back slightly. The partial jawline, the possible earring. Height's right. Movement pattern suggests someone familiar with surveillance cameras. And she would have had access to Daniel's financial information through Oracle's database. But why take the money? If she killed him, why steal $800? Good question. Murder for financial gain makes sense if you're stealing life insurance money or liquidating someone's assets. But $800 from an ATM? That's petty crime money, not murder money. Maybe it wasn't about the money, I say. Maybe it was about creating a narrative. Oracle needed evidence that Daniel was buying drugs. The ATM withdrawal provides that evidence. Even though there's no actual evidence he bought drugs, Oracle doesn't need proof of the purchase. Just proof that he had the cash to make it. The withdrawal at 2 a.m., the amount, the timing relative to his death, it all supports the suicide theory. Maya sits back down, runs her hands through her hair. She looks exhausted. The kind of tired that comes from having your entire understanding of someone's death repeatedly restructured. So what do we do now? Before I can answer, there's a knock on the studio door. Sal sticks his head in. Len, there's someone here to see you. Says it's about the podcast. Who? Lady says her name's Torres. Maya and I look at each other. Send her back, I say. Sal nods, disappears. A moment later, footsteps in the hallway. The door opens. The woman who enters looks exactly like her LinkedIn photo, except tired. Dark hair pulled back in a ponytail, professional clothes that look like they've been worn all day, the kind of careful makeup that's meant to project competence but can't quite hide the stress underneath. She looks at Maya, then at me, then at the laptop screen still frozen on the ATM footage. Ms. Torres, I presume, I say. Rhea. She closes the door behind her, stays standing. I think we need to talk. About Daniel Hallberg? About Oracle? About what Daniel found? About why he's dead and why Oracle is so eager to convince everyone he killed himself. She moves to the window, looks out at the street. When she turns back, her face has the expression of someone who's made a decision they can't take back.
Daniel didn't kill himself.
She says.
And I can prove it.
Maya leaned forward.
How?
Rhea reaches into her bag, pulls out a flash drive. Sets it on the table between us. Oracle's raw data files for 17 cases closed as suicide in the past 6 months. Including Daniel's. All 17 have the same pattern: young men, apparent overdose or hanging, high confidence rating, minimal investigation. A pattern Oracle missed? I ask. A pattern Oracle was programmed not to see. She sits down in the chair across from me. Someone at Crest Analytics has been manipulating Oracle's training data, teaching it to classify certain murders as suicides. The room is very quiet. Outside, the pool game has stopped. Even the street noise seems muted.
Why?
Maya asks.
Because it's profitable. Murder investigations cost money. Suicide closures are cheap. And Oracle's performance metrics reward speed and certainty, not accuracy.
I look at the flash drive. Small silver rectangle, maybe containing the most important evidence I've ever been offered. How did Daniel get involved in this? He didn't get involved. He stumbled onto it. Rhea's voice is steady, but I can hear the strain underneath. Daniel was consulting on a coastal erosion project that used predictive modeling. He noticed some irregularities in the data patterns and mentioned it to me at dinner one night. Just casual conversation, but it got me thinking about Oracle's suicide classifications. So you started investigating?
We both did. Daniel had the data science background to understand the statistical anomalies. I had access to Oracle's case files.
She pauses.
We found 17 cases where the evidence strongly suggested murder, but Oracle consistently classified them as suicide. Including Daniel's own case? including Daniel's own case, which was classified as suicide 4 days before Daniel died.
The words hang in the air like smoke. Maya stands up abruptly.
What did you just say? Oracle pre-classified Daniel's death as suicide 4 days before it happened.
I feel something cold moving through my chest.
That's not possible.
Rhea looks at me steadily.
Oracle's predictive algorithms can flag individuals as high suicide risk based on behavioral patterns. Usually, it's just an internal alert for social services. But in Daniel's case, someone pre-approved the classification. When Daniel died, Oracle already had a verdict waiting. Someone knew Daniel was going to die. Someone knew Daniel was going to be killed. And they made sure Oracle would call it suicide.
Maya sits back down heavily.
I don't know yet. But I know how to find out.
Rhea points to the flash drive.
Everything's in there. Case files, communication logs, the pre-classification order for Daniel's case. Enough to prove that Oracle isn't just wrong about these 17 cases. Oracle is being deliberately manipulated.
I pick up the flash drive, turn it over in my hands. It's warm from being in Rhea's bag. Why come to me? Why not take this to the police?
Because the police use Oracle. NYPD, FBI, half the law enforcement agencies in the country. If Oracle is compromised, traditional law enforcement can't investigate it.
She pauses.
But you can. You're outside the system. And you have a platform. The podcast. The podcast. 80,000 subscribers who trust you to ask the questions no one else will ask.
I look at Maya, who's staring at the flash drive like it might explode. There's something I need to know, I say to Rhea. The person at the ATM. 2:14 a.m. the night Daniel died. Was that you? Rhea is quiet for a long moment.
Yes.
She says finally. Maya makes a sound like she's been hit.
But not for the reason you think.
Rhea continues quickly.
Daniel called me that night. Around midnight. He was scared, said someone had been following him, that he thought his apartment might be compromised. He asked me to take some cash out of his account and meet him at his building. You had his card? He'd given it to me the week before, when we thought we might need emergency funds for the investigation. He was paranoid about electronic surveillance. What happened when you got to his building?
Rhea's voice becomes very quiet.
I waited outside for 20 minutes. Daniel never came down. I went upstairs, knocked on his door. No answer. I tried calling, his phone went straight to voicemail. You didn't go inside? The door was locked. Both locks. I could hear someone moving around inside, but when I called Daniel's name, no one answered.
Maya is crying now, silent tears that she's wiping away with the back of her hand. I should have called the police, Rhea says. But I was scared. If someone was inside Daniel's apartment, if something had happened to him, I thought calling the police might make it worse. So I left. With his money. With his money. I was going to give it back to him the next day. She looks at Maya. I'm so sorry. I should have done something.
You couldn't have known.
Maya says, but her voice is hollow. I set the flash drive down on the table.
Rhea, there's something else I need to ask you. Yesterday, when I called Crest Analytics looking for you, they said no employee by that name exists. Because I was fired yesterday morning. Security escorted me out of the building while I was still in the parking garage.
She pulls out her phone, shows me an email.
Termination for cause. Unauthorized access to confidential data files. They know you copied the files. They know I copied something. They probably don't know exactly what, or they would have called the police instead of just firing me. But they know enough to cover their tracks. Which is why we need to move fast. Once Crest realizes what I took, they'll find ways to discredit it. Chain of custody, unauthorized access, corporate espionage. They have lawyers who specialize in making inconvenient evidence disappear.
I pick up the flash drive again. Whatever's on it, it's enough to get people fired. Maybe enough to get people killed. If I publish this, I say, if I put it on the podcast, there's no going back. Crest Analytics will come after all of us with everything they have. They're already coming after us, Rhea says. Daniel's dead. I'm fired. They've threatened you twice. The question is whether we're going to fight back. Maya wipes her eyes, looks at me. What do you need from me? I need you to be prepared for what happens next. If Oracle has been classifying murders as suicides, and if Daniel found proof of it, this story is going to get very big very quickly. Media attention, legal challenges, maybe congressional hearings. Your brother's death is going to become a public case study in AI accountability.
Good.
Maya says.
Maybe that will help other families get answers.
I look at Rhea.
And you? If I do this, if I publish what's on this drive, Crest Analytics is going to destroy your career. Corporate espionage charges, civil lawsuits, industry blacklisting. They'll make sure you never work in tech again. I know.
She stands up.
But if I don't do this, how many more people are going to die while Oracle looks the other way?
Outside, the October sun has set. The studio feels smaller in the darkness, more confined. 3 people in a back room of a dive bar, holding evidence that could bring down $1 billion company. Or get us all killed. I plug the flash drive into my laptop. The screen fills with file names, case summaries, data logs, communication records. 17 deaths. 17 families told their loved ones killed themselves. 17 murders that Oracle was programmed not to see. Before I open these files, I say, I need to know something. Rhea, why did Daniel trust you? Why did he give you his ATM card, involve you in this investigation? What was your relationship? Rhea looks at Maya, then back at me.
We were engaged.
She says quietly. Maya's face goes white.
Engaged? Daniel never mentioned. We'd only been engaged for 2 weeks. Daniel wanted to tell you in person, but he was worried about the Oracle investigation. He thought if word got out that he was romantically involved with someone from Crest Analytics, it would discredit our findings.
She reaches into her bag again, pulls out a small velvet box. Opens it to reveal a simple diamond ring. He proposed on October 15th. Said he wanted to solve this case first, then we'd tell everyone and plan a real wedding. Maya stares at the ring. He was buying an engagement ring. I found the receipt in his apartment. That was for me. We picked it out together. Rhea closes the box. Daniel wanted to do everything the right way. Solve the case, expose Oracle's flaws, then start our life together with a clear conscience. The room is very quiet. Instead, I say, someone killed him to keep Oracle's secrets safe. Rhea nods. And made it look like suicide, knowing that Oracle would rubber stamp the classification and no one would ask questions. I turn back to the laptop, start opening files. The first one is Daniel's complete case file, including sections that weren't in the public version. Oracle's confidence assessment, the pre-classification order, communication logs between Crest Analytics and NYPD. And there, buried in the metadata, something that makes my blood freeze. The pre-classification order for Daniel's suicide was signed off by Damien Crest himself. The CEO of Crest Analytics personally approved classifying Daniel Hallberg's death as suicide 4 days before Daniel died. I show the screen to Maya and Rhea. They both lean forward, reading the timestamp.
Jesus Christ.
Maya whispers.
We have him.
Rhea says.
This proves premeditation. This proves Oracle isn't malfunctioning, it's being controlled.
I lean back in my chair, mind racing. Damian Crest, the brilliant Stanford dropout who'd built Oracle into the most trusted law enforcement tool in America, personally orchestrating murders and covering them up through his own AI system. My phone buzzes. Another unknown number. I answer without thinking. Mr. Quaid. A man's voice this time. Calm, educated, familiar from dozens of tech conference videos. This is Damian Crest. I believe you have something that belongs to me. I look at Maya and Rhea. Both of their faces have gone pale. I don't know what you're talking about. Of course you do. Ms. Torres removed certain files from our servers before her employment was terminated. Files that contain proprietary information protected by multiple federal confidentiality statutes. Is that a threat? It's an observation. Along with another observation, you're investigating the death of Daniel Hallberg, a tragic suicide that Oracle correctly classified with high confidence. Continued investigation of this closed case serves no purpose except to cause pain for Mr. Hallberg's family. I look at Maya, who's shaking her head vigorously. Actually, I say, Mr. Hallberg's family specifically asked me to investigate. They don't believe Oracle's classification. Grief makes people irrational, Mr. Quaid. It makes them see conspiracies where there are only accidents. It makes them hire podcasters to validate their denial instead of accepting difficult truths. And what truth is that? That Oracle is almost always right. That Daniel Hallberg was struggling with depression and addiction. That he made a tragic choice on October 3rd, and no amount of investigation will change that reality. What about the pre-classification order with your signature on it? Long pause. I have no idea what you're referring to, Mr. Quaid. But if you're in possession of stolen corporate documents, I strongly advise you to return them immediately. Corporate espionage is a federal crime. Is that another threat? It's friendly advice. I'd hate to see you lose your broadcasting license over a misunderstanding. The line goes dead. I set my phone down, look at Maya and Rhea. He knows we have the files, I say. And he's scared, Rhea says. If Damian Crest is making personal phone calls, trying to intimidate a podcaster, that means what we found is even bigger than we thought.
What do we do now?
Maya asks. I look at the laptop screen, at 17 case files representing 17 murdered people whose deaths were classified as suicide by an AI system controlled by the man who had them killed. Then I reach for the microphone. We go live, I say. Right now. Before Crest can stop us. But as I'm adjusting the mic stand, my laptop screen goes black. Then Rhea's phone dies. Then the lights in the remainder go out. And in the darkness, I hear the sound of car doors slamming outside. Multiple car doors. Moving fast.